Hello, who was Peter and why was he so important? Peter's life is perhaps the greatest redemption story ever recorded. Fishermen in his day were considered manly men with hot tempers and vulgar language. They were traditionally uneducated but wouldn't have ample wits and survival skills acquired by working hard and braving the seas and fish markets. Fishermen were stereotypically men of action, very physical and unafraid of others, which Peter demonstrates when he cuts off the soldier's ear in the Garden of Gethsemane at Jesus' arrest. A fleshly reaction of violence instead of love, as he'd heard Jesus preach for 3 years. Yet this simple fisherman's journey to an apostle of Christ is found throughout the New Testament. According to church tradition, the Gospel of Mark is actually a collaboration with John and Mark, who wrote and put it together as a retelling of Peter's life, a biography of sorts. Then Peter's plight of spreading the good news is found in the book of Acts, and he wrote 2 letters to new Christians which were adopted into the Bible. The impact of Peter's life cannot be summed up in an article or even a few of them, because his influence is rich with knowledge, applicational studies, and relevant messages. But he liked to be present. 4 notable points concerning Peter's example and ministry. Peter was a sinful man, yet he became a part of Christ's inner circle. The Gospels of Mark, Matthew, and Luke list Peter as the very first disciple called on by Jesus, followed closely by Peter's brother Andrew, then James and John. Matthew and Mark's accounts are an almost identical telling of when Jesus approached their fishing boats, but Luke adds more detail, painting a picture of Peter and Jesus having a sincere moment at the very beginning of their relationship. Upon seeing the miracle of fish on an otherwise barren fishing trip, Peter realizes his sinful state and gives glory to the Lord before him by falling on his knees and exclaiming, "Go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man." Luke 5:8. Yet Jesus looked at this wicked man and said, "Don't be afraid, from now on you will fish for people." Luke 5:10. After his words, Peter and the other 3 dropped everything, including their very identities as fishermen, and began a beautiful journey with Jesus. Peter continued to make mistakes time and again, but Jesus as is his nature, loved Peter wholeheartedly and continued to use him in his kingdom's work. This included Peter's proclamation that Jesus was a Messiah. Luke 9:20. Peter is considered a part of Jesus' inner circle because there are quite a few incidents where only Peter and John and James were witnesses, including the Transfiguration. This was when Jesus' physical appearance changed to reveal his divinity. Matthew 72, Moses and Elijah appeared in glorious splendor before them. Luke 9:30, and the Father spoke from a cloud, saying, "This is my Son, whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." Matthew 17:5. Peter's close-knit relationship with Jesus proves that he longs for an intimacy with his followers, normally everyday people like Peter and like you and me. Seeing how Jesus took an uneducated sinful man and loved him infinitely gives us assurance that he can do this for us well.